You'll see Josh. He'll be a lot better this year than he was a year ago.
Everybody talks a lot about how players get prepared for a ball game. You as the head coach and the offensive coordinator, what do you do to get prepared? Because you don't go by flip charts, you don't go by all this other, you're calling this out of your head. How do you prepare for that ball game?
I better have been prepared by Thursday. I don't get prepared that day. It's like the team. I mean, I've got the game plan in my mind, all the stuff we've worked on during the week, and we've done it for a long time. And if you're doing this, then I'm thinking I want to do this.
Right.
So I'm trying to adjust. Or if we've hurt you here, then I'm always thinking, okay, if I'm over there, here's where I'm coming next. So I'm trying to stay one step ahead all the time. And if you get the thing going, it's a lot of fun because you can be a step ahead. The other way you get a step behind, it's not much fun. So it's like it's move, counter move. So really, once the game starts, I couldn't tell you if there's 20 people there or 200,000.
Right.
I mean, I'm locked in, and somebody will say, "Did you see that? What happened in the third quarter?" And I won't have any idea what they're talking about.
But you could really see that one step ahead in the second half of the Georgia game.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And if guys miss tackles, it looks a lot better. They can make you look a lot better when they're making plays.
Coach, you get a conference game 5 days after your opener. I mean, do you sometime early in preseason drills, do you work on something that will help later on in the season or in that second game? How do you?
The first 2 weeks of camp, we work on ourselves. We won't work on anybody. We'll play against ourselves and try to get pad ready and just get better, and then we'll work on Jacksonville State.
So you won't look at Clemson at all until after Jacksonville State?
The coaches might look, but we won't work on it in practice. I mean, we'll have the film broken down and all that stuff on the computer, but it won't be. We've already got that done. But it's like, we'll work on Jacksonville State. You better get ready to play the team you're playing. Shoot, we almost lost to Gardner-Webb last year.
Well, you had some quarterbacks hurt that.
Yeah, but you can't. College. Everybody's got good players.
So does that put you at a big disadvantage? I mean, Clemson's got the same thing too. But I mean, they've said that they might, look at option 2 weeks into summer practice.
It'll be good. You think Middle Tennessee will have that on their board?
They said generic. They said it wouldn't be a generic
I'd rather lose to Clemson than Jacksonville State if it's all the same. The job security might be a tad better. I don't care. It's the truth.
Do you look at your schedule though? Because then, like, you've got right off the bat in September, you've got some pretty big ACC games. Obviously you got Jacksonville State, but then Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, like going in. It's almost like by the end of September, you guys are this year.
Yeah. Last year we had Boston College, Virginia Tech, and who was our third ACC game? Was Duke third? Okay. So, I mean, we came out of the chute last year with the 2 defending division champs on the road, I might add, both of them. They were our first 2 conference games. I thought it was my welcome to the ACC. Here you go. Every game's tough. I mean, there's not an easy game, so you got to play them sometime.
Coach, how do you feel about your special teams going into this year?
Hopefully they'll be special. I don't know. I mean, we worked on the return game a lot this spring, and we got a lot of room to improve there. So we need to kick the ball better too. I mean, on the other side of it, I mean, he's got to kick the ball better and punt, and I think he will. He's a year older and he's worked hard. So we'll see how that unfolds.
Having more advantages, how are you going to personnel-wise attack special teams?
It won't be any different than what we did last year. We've always put starters on it. So there's no team as important as the punt team. It's the most important team you got. Very few plays in a game that as much field position exchanges as on a punt. So you better be able to kick it and cover it.
But So I guess the more you explore, the less important it becomes.
It'd be nice not to have to pump much. That'd be good.
Seems like there's a lot of mystique surrounding your offense coming into this season. Is there any pressure along with that, or are you just going to play your game?
Just play the game. I mean, there's always pressure, no matter what you're doing. I think if you're competing, but that can be a good thing if you channel it.
How have y'all worked toward keeping the players' heads on?
We haven't done anything. Why would their heads not be on straight?
Well, a lot of them, so many people looking for so much out of you this year.
Trust me, I tell them every day what they've done. Nothing. So they got, we didn't win the league. We didn't go undefeated at home. We had all kinds of goals we didn't get. So if they're buying into the hype, I think they learned that to get where you want to go, you have to work, hard work. They've worked this summer, so we'll see how fall camp goes. I think they'll work. They're hungry.
Paul, a lot of people talk about the ACC backfields, and obviously one of the biggest guys in the league is Jonathan. What's it like to be around a guy like that every day and just sort of get to a front row seat, if you will?
Well, I don't pay any more attention to John than we do anybody else on the team. He's just like a guy. And he goes out to practice and, really don't think much about it, honestly. I mean, John could tell you I probably ride him more than anybody on the team because he's got so much ability. So we're glad that he's on our team on Saturday. He makes a lot of big plays and he's very talented. But, I don't think anybody makes a big deal about it.
Why do you ride him more than anyone on the team?
Because he's got a lot of ability, and I think that it's my nature that I challenge the guys that are more talented than the ones who are less talented. He can get by on natural ability sometimes and don't have to work as hard. So I want to make sure he's working as hard as everybody else.
What's his makeup like in terms of handling some of the expectations? A lot of people
John's a great kid. I mean, he's got a great personality, and he's fun to be around, and he's really got a good sense of humor. I mean, he's kind of the judge of all the jokes around the locker room. The guys in the meeting room.
That's one example.
Well, they just get on him about all kinds of stuff, from his weight to everything. They get on him about everything they can find.
What about his weight?
Well, just when he, gets bigger or, needs to lose weight or his whatever physical characteristics. I mean, how kids are; they'll get on you about anything.
But so you think, despite all the talk, he's got the sort of makeup?
Yeah, he's a part of the team. I think the kids, enjoy being around him, and he enjoys being around them.
Can you talk about the run and shoot? I remember I spoke to you a couple years ago, and you said, from your time at Hawaii, that you weren't just an option coach, that you were able to do a lot of different things offensively. Can you talk about the inception of that during the spring and how you think that went?
We put a few run and shoot routes in the spring. It wasn't anything major. It went okay. Nothing I'm going to hang my hat on. It's not like we're going to come out in the first game and you're going to confuse us with, the Houston Gamblers. So what we need to do is be more efficient throwing the ball. That's all we want to do, be more efficient.
Do you think you achieved that, or you're in the process of achieving that?
We can always get better. We'll see when the season starts. The proof's in the pudding. Everybody can talk. You've got to be able to walk the walk when it starts. Right now, everybody's undefeated and everybody's going to win the league.
Well, I remember
Good thing is in September you play the games.
I was at the game against Georgia. I was covering that game, and he threw it 5 times in the first half. And
Killed them throwing it.
Yeah, right.
Completed one.
Right. Was that mean? But in order to take that next step, do you think you need to develop a passing game?
We didn't that day. Some days you will, some days you won't. I mean, you got to have a threat of throwing it, and if they don't respect it, you got to be able to throw it over their head and catch it. And that becomes us talking, being efficient. The nature of what we do, we're going to run the ball.
Right.
I mean, that's us. We're going to run. If we can't run, we had a stat at one time at the Naval Academy. If we threw the ball 30 times in a game, I think we lost like 90% of the games. Because if we were throwing it 30 times, it meant we weren't having much success running.
Right.
So, but we just got to become more efficient.